Do I have a story for the stream?
Hello, everyone.
Do I have a story for the stream?
Wait, hello.
Is it on?
Yeah, I had to do the old fixaroo.
Are we
I
on?
think we're on. We're doing beautiful. This week is going to be much better than the last. If you thought we were going to let the glitches and the technical issues continue,
You were wrong.
You're on crack.
You're on something bad.
Yeah. Hello, Kendrick Willis in the chat. And update for you, Pierce. You don't know about this.
Oh no.
But I'm giving you, this is kind of like a meeting of the minds of Hangouts. And it's a fun hangout. I am not streaming to Twitch this week.
Whoa.
I'm only streaming to YouTube.
Whoa.
Because the YouTube crowd are the loyal followers of the channel. And Twitch is falling apart. I don't know if you... I have not even kept up with everything going on with Twitch right now, but I keep seeing bad stuff every day, so...
Doesn't surprise me.
So I thought, let's just do the thing that I like to do, and that's YouTube. That's where a lot of people talk to us on there and stuff, so... Frick Twitch, we are YouTube only for right now. Maybe I'll come crawling back, because I've tried this once before, and I came crawling back on my gamer knees and hands. So.
Well, you might do that again. I mean, Twitch has got some powerful people.
Yep. They might say, no, you're coming back. We need Hangouts to be a Twitch stream.
Yeah, that was our primary revenue.
If Bezos offered you $1 million to only stream to Twitch, would you do it?
To only stream what? Like, the only thing I could do was to stream to Twitch in general?
If he came to you and said, convince Zach to only stream on Twitch.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. I mean, if he's going to offer... I mean, yeah, that's fine. I'll take $1 million just to use Twitch. That's fine.
Yeah, but I'm going to call you a sellout.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a sellout. Sure.
Wow.
And with that $1 million,
I guess
I'm going to buy...
$1 million is what it costs to make you a sellout.
Yeah, it doesn't cost much. That's it. That's all it took. That's fine.
Wow.
Hey, how you holding up?
This week, we are playing The Last of Us. This is what the world is going to look like when Twitch goes out of business, when they're donezo. So,
is this the new Last of Us?
Yes, this is the Last of Us Part 1 on PS5.
Doesn't look that different.
You got to see it in HDR, which I can't even see in HDR with the screen I'm using right now, but... They updated.
Game already looks pretty good.
They updated all of the character models. The character models are very different. The facial animations are incredible, to the point where me and my wife got a new TV, and she's watched me play through this, and she really likes Last of Us, and I was like, hey, you want to, try the new TV out with Last of Us? Let's do it. So put it on, and the facial animations are so good that, spoiler alert, if you've not seen the very beginning of this game, Joel's daughter, you've played through Last of Us, right? Yeah. When Joel's daughter dies at the beginning, I think that opening is fan-freaking-tastic. It is incredible. Just, they let you play, I think it's Sarah, his kid, but she dies. But in this one, they've redone all the facial animations for all this stuff. Like when she's dying and she's like wincing and stuff, and he's upset and whatever. I was like getting like, I've seen that so many times, or like I've seen that scene a couple times. I beat this game a couple times. I was like, I've seen this so many times, and it's like affecting me in a new way. I don't know.
So the facial animations are just that detailed. And
they're just
believable
to the point where it's so detailed, and like people are getting shot in the head, and blood squirt, and that's how I kind of felt about Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting soft in my old age, or like the graphics are getting to the point where it's like, ugh, like.
Yeah.
When this on PS3, it's like a blood squirting, and it's like, oh, cool,
Yeah. No, Last of Us 2 was too far for me. I did not like that game. I finished it, and but I was like, no, that's too much. I think that crosses the line.
Well, in that one too, they like call out the names of the like people, or the dogs get shot and stuff, and like, no, Spot, or like Daryl, no, like stay with us, or like it's like,
yeah, it's horrifying.
It's a little bit horrifying. It's like,
yeah, it's just, it makes it a little bit too, because it's also really fun.
Yes.
To play.
Yeah.
So it's like I really think that is like right where the line is, and I think it's dangerous.
Yeah. It's a weird feeling in my gut when I.
Yeah.
Soldiers.
If you hear a little bit of an echo, I apologize because I have to like play this through speakers, but.
We can sneak by them.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I could tell this is like a remaster or whatever you want to call it, a remake.
I would say it's like a half remake.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a weird. I can't even remember something that's done this, because it's either a remaster where they reskin the textures, and there is that, or it's a remake where it's like, hey, we got new models, we have new gameplay, and we're rebuilding this from the ground up. I would say this is like a 50-50 remake, because the animations and all this stuff, and some of these, they've changed the AI. It's almost like they've went and they've retooled certain things, but this is still like a PS3 game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But it's like an extremely pretty exterior to certain parts that have kind of aged a little bit, but they've done a lot of work, and I am impressed by it. But like I said, like the animations and the facial animations have been retooled, and like that's been really impressive. But
yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna buy it, but it looks pretty good.
You have to buy it.
No, I don't.
You have to.
$70.
That's true. Actually, I got the collector's edition, so I paid $100. So.
Oh my! There's a collector's edition for this game?
Yeah.
This will be the second. If I bought this, I will have bought Last of Us 3 times, and there's still a collector's edition, and it gets more expensive each time.
I bought the first collector's edition on PS3. Then the PS4 didn't have a collector's edition, and then the this one did. So I bought 2 collector's editions of this game.
Wow.
I skipped out on The Last of Us Part 2 special. I got like I did get the it comes with like a booklet or something. There was like a limited edition or legendary edition, and I got like just the special, which was like it came with a booklet and like a steel book or whatever.
Looks like somebody's a Naughty Dog and Apple cut.
Yep, I really am.
Yep.
Naughty Dog, I will buy anything they really. I didn't get the they remade or ported and upscaled that legendary, that Uncharted, and that Lost Legacy. I didn't get that, but I do still want it because I will. Because the thing with remasters, I buy remasters all the time and they sit on the shelf. Last of Us, I was itching to play that again, and I opened it up. But there are I have sealed remasters on my shelf. I'm horrible at that because I'm usually not in the mood. Like I have to be in the mood, to revisit a game.
Yeah.
I don't revisit games a lot at all. But I will. I kind of have an itching for Uncharted because me and my wife watched the Uncharted movie.
How bad was it?
I had a fun time.
So that's a way of saying it was bad, but I enjoyed it. Right?
It wasn't. I gave it a 2.5 on Letterboxd.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. If you enjoy it and had a fun time and you still give it a 2.5.
But I had a fun time. It's like Rocco. It's like I liked watching it.
Yeah. I like a lot of things. Like the Goo Goo Dolls. So. Hey, remember how last week we were joking about how I'm going to get fired from my job?
You're making glasses with that and then saying that is... Someone clip that. Chat, clip that.
So, last week we were talking about the students finding my TikTok, right? And also me just being weird.
Yes, and I warned... I didn't warn you, I just sounds spooky.
Sounds like, yeah, you said something like, man, you're going to get fired.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, there's nothing bad on my TikTok. So I just thought, there's literally nothing bad on my TikTok.
Yeah.
Nothing. Well, yeah, I did. And it was the day after we streamed. I got a phone call.
Oh my gosh.
I knew the kids would find my TikTok.
They found the Twitch. They found the
stream. Oh gosh, I wish. If they found the stream, they'd probably beg me to come back.
Yeah, because yeah.
Yeah. But I got a phone call. Hey, this is the high school principal. We just want to let you know it might be embarrassing, but a lot of the junior hires found your TikTok. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Yes. And they're like, well, it might just be embarrassing. We wanted to let you know to get out ahead of it. And I was like, I'm not embarrassed. What's the problem? Like, well, there's some inappropriate stuff on there. And I was like what? And they're like, well, and then they made something up. Like it didn't exist.
Yeah.
They clearly, the actual principal hasn't looked at my TikTok. Made something up. And I was like, that doesn't exist. That's not on there.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's not there. And then they're like, well, we might get a parent complaining like, who's this, sub-student teaching our kids? We don't want this type of person around our kids. I'm like, okay, well, I can take it down. I'm locked out of the TikToks, but I'll try to figure out a way.
Yeah.
So over the weekend, I'm like, trying to email TikTok, trying to get back in. I even reactivate my old phone number for a month just to get in and shut down, even though there's literally nothing on it.
Yeah.
There is nothing bad on my TikTok at all.
This way.
Real quick, Kendrick in the chat says, "Oh God, students have tried to follow me on social media too."
Yeah, I got advice for you, man. Get off social media completely, unless you don't care about crazy idiots getting mad at you.
That's just so crazy because you didn't have any inappropriate stuff. That's just sad that I feel like teachers should have. Can you not have a life outside of school?
Exactly, pretty much.
I understand you're held to a higher standard and students can't find that, but it's like you weren't posting inappropriate stuff,
No, nothing. What do you think would be a problem on my TikTok as having followed my TikTok? Do you think there's anything on there?
No, it's just you being goofy and silly. Do
you remember my bio?
No.
It's philosopher and naughty baby looking for a minion mommy. Now, you hear that.
Yeah.
And you think that doesn't really mean anything. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb gibberish, right?
Yeah.
What is a minion mommy? I don't know. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Well, I get a call Monday from the superintendent of the school, and he's like, hey, last week you talked to the principal, and she told you about this. I was like, yeah. She's like, well, I can't have you sub anymore for us. You've just got some really bad stuff on TikTok. I'm not joking. They said really bad stuff on TikTok. And one of the parents complained.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I don't. What did they complain about?
Yeah.
And they said, I don't know. Well, just some sexual innuendos maybe. And I was like what? Like, tell me what? And he's like, well, you put looking for a minion mommy.
I can't believe they got you.
And I said,
I got his help.
What do you think that means? And she said, well, the parent that complained thinks it means you're looking for an underage relationship.
I'm staying. Ellie, we won't get another shot.
And I said, do you know what a minion is? I actually said, do you know what a minion is?
Yeah.
And he said, and I was like, have you seen Despicable Me? Or have you heard of it? And he's like, yeah, that's a minion.
Speaking of which,
I said, do you know what a minion mommy is? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't know what a minion mommy is because I don't know what a minion mommy is because it means nothing. And it definitely doesn't mean I'm a pedophile. And so, so I pretty much lost my job for that.
Involved in this story.
Yeah, so I lost my job because of that.
Oh my gosh! So so it's over. Like you are definitely fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Kendrick says, I private my stuff. I don't go on social media often anyway. Also, I live outside of my school district. We as teachers can have a life outside of social media. We just have to be careful. Man, that's
You
that's crazy.
you have to be so careful. I would suggest that you never post any sort of Minion related content
Yeah,
again.
Kendrick, as long as you stay away from Minion related
Yeah.
funny bios, you're good. Man,
What
well,
I found out is that
I'm sorry that happened.
Minion. Yeah, it's fine. I already got another job.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, they're insane people at that school.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah.
like that is nuts.
Yeah.
So I immediately got another job at another school. But I guess that maybe, and I didn't realize this, minions are a universal symbol of sex trafficking.
Yeah, you didn't look that up.
Yeah, I didn't know that beforehand. So I really should have known that.
You literally took the fall for a really funny joke.
Yeah,
I admire that.
And you know what? In the moment, and I had someone ask me this when I told them. They're like, couldn't you just lie and say you were hacked?
Yeah.
And I thought about that in the moment, and I said, no. What's the point of hiding?
Yeah.
What's the point of being someone I'm not?
I'm glad that your minion sexuality, you are not hiding from that.
Well, no, it's not even sexual. It doesn't mean I'm looking for something sexual. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you're just looking for Minion Mommy. It doesn't say what your part
what
2.
My objectives are. It doesn't mean anything,
it
really.
didn't say what part 2 of that was, yeah.
Right. It could just be I'm literally looking for a minion that is a mother. Not for any reason other than just I think it's a cool concept.
Yeah.
And so I decided I'm going to stand up for what I believe in, and I am going to just be honest. And I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to openly condescend to the highest local school official.
There we go. That's cool.
And say that they don't know what minions are.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Despicable them.
Yeah, despicable them. And you know what? Respectable me, despicable them.
Yes. Well, that is an interesting update.
Look at Minion goggles. The next protest.
Kendrick said, haha, oh my gosh. I don't post stuff like that. I just focus on my job. My students already hard enough being a teacher, let alone having social media where kids can potentially look at it. Kendrick,
never posted it again.
Never post. Hey, keep away from the Minion Mommy.
I will not go anywhere near that Minion Mommy.
Yeah, you should have put. I'm not looking for a Minion Mommy.
Well, I didn't take.
You have to change it to I'm not at all looking for a Minion Mommy.
Ignore the last bio. I am no longer looking. I didn't take my TikTok down.
Okay.
I refuse. I took that bio down and I privated everything that could even potentially be about minions.
Yeah.
Everything. And I changed my bio to making dumb, all caps, family-friendly videos so my youth pastor will approve since 1999.
There we go.
And now,
Kendrick is now asking, what is a Minion Mommy?
A Minion Mommy, it didn't, so when I wrote that, it didn't mean anything. It just was alliteration. It was just MM.
Yeah.
But now that I think about it, I think a Minion Mommy would be like a middle-aged housewife who's bored and who it's those women who constantly post the Minion memes on Facebook.
Kendrick asked who comes up with this stuff, and I think it's Pierce that comes up with
this
stuff. Because I've never heard the term Minion Mommy, but I thought it was just literally just a minion that's like a sexy minion. Or like an older MILF minion.
Yeah, see, no, because when I wrote it, again, I didn't mean anything by it. It was just 2 M words.
But it is a very funny collection of words. So
right, exactly. It was just a form. But retroactively, it's a middle-aged bored housewife who just posts those cringy Minion memes.
Yes.
That's one definition.
Okay.
So, and again, who comes up with that stuff? Kendrick, I do. Thank you.
Yes, that's it's really cool.
Yep. Free speech.
So, question, let's get back into the game. We're just meeting Ellie for the first time. So this is our main mission.
How do you know them? was close with his brother.
Because at this point, Joel and is it Trish? Tessa.
Before or after he
Tess.
left your little militia
I
group?
forget
Sure.
the freaking name.
He left you too.
They have to basically move some stuff and they'll get the guns back. Because Marlene and the Fireflies,
Tunnel and wait for me there.
this crazy group, they're trying to tear down the system, trying to do stuff. We don't really know a lot about them yet, but
No more time.
said, hey, let's move some stuff. First time we're meeting Ellie.
You'll be fine.
Which, this is what I really missed. I mean, this is just the beginning of it. But this relationship between Joel and Ellie,
Don't take me.
I badly missed in the second game.
Stay close.
Nothing reached those heights.
Let's go.
None of the other character interactions in part 2, I feel like, reached that for me. The way I felt about this game.
Yep, I agree.
That was a big bummer for me. I love certain parts of Last of Us Part 2. I think it is... I think that I love that a game like Last of Us 2 exists, and they really put their heart into it. Some parts really didn't click in the end for me with that game, but...
That's how I feel too. Yeah. Last of Us 1 though, one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, it's in my top 10. It just is perfectly paced. You just have a really good story, a really adult, good story, and like I said,
And not like an inappropriate adult story.
yeah, not like a Minion Mommy.
A
story.
mature story. Yeah, not like a Minion Mommy. Just in case any of my future employers see this stream, we're not.
Yeah. Anybody that you see shot in the head, that's just a video game, just for future employees.
Right. And this is, I know this looks really real to all of the 65-year-old school officials who are like mentally deranged, but this is a game. So this is not, and that is also not me on the screen.
Yeah, this
That's
is Avatar.
a video game. Yeah.
So I was going to ask question for Pierce and question for Kendrick. I've just talked to other teachers in my life. They are just like completely burnt out. And then I keep seeing stuff like teacher shortages and stuff. I want to hear from Kendrick. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to get in trouble. He doesn't want a mommy minion situation. But like, I don't know. I think you can comment on like what is it in your district, or how do you feel like how things are going on? But
Yeah. Well, I think I
so you got a
speak for
new
Kendrick.
job. You got a new job, and it's at
Yeah.
school too.
Yes.
Like, what do you feel about the current?
Down here.
You know, like what's going on? What can be helped? Like,
Yeah. Well, what's going on is typically that people who run schools administratively are not very smart, and most of their education and training is in administrative stuff and not in education
Yeah.
or in any sort of academic field. And so they're basically just a certain type of manager or politician for the most part. And that means they're just kind of gross people. And that's who makes the most money, is in charge of all the teachers and sets salaries and does a bunch of stuff. So it's kind of rotten from the head.
yeah.
Get us to the north tunnel.
You know?
Man, I hate that that's going on. I heard, just other teachers in my life and stuff. I just was talking to some yesterday, and they were like,
Yeah.
crazy. I hear a lot.
I mean,
of,
I'm not burnt out.
I
but-
hear a lot, and I know that you can attest to this. It's the parents.
Yeah, I mean,
are-
parents-
It's like a combination of a lot of stuff I hear, like parents, the COVID stuff. Just everybody got burnt out, around that time period.
Yeah, no, parents are crazy, and when you combine that with administration that doesn't want to support their teachers, and will cave and kowtow to parents and
Yeah.
political pressure, then you just get a completely unstable environment.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I mean, I'm running for local state board of education under the platform of Minions for All, and I'm hoping to really right some of these wrongs.
So finally, people can put in their bios looking for Minion Mommy
What's the deal
without.
with you and Marlene anyway?
Right. Or Minion Daddy.
Yeah.
Now that one might be inappropriate,
I guess.
since Daddy has a connotation.
Yeah.
You're friends with
Yeah.
the leader of the Fireflies. What are you, like, 12?
She knew my mom. She knew my
I've had both of these things on, and I can't freaking hear the game, so I had to. If you think I look weird, do I look weird?
I do. I think you look like a freak.
Oh, okay.
I think you should be embarrassed.
Okay.
Yeah. The lighting in this game is much better than the original, I gotta say.
Fireflies, is that it?
I'm not supposed to look.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to tell you why you're smuggling.
Yeah, that's definitely improved.
You don't know the best thing about my job. I don't
Boob
got
light.
Be honest with you, I give two shits what you're up to.
I also can't hear any of the game audio, so you tell me when to shut up when Joel is talking or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if
I'm-
there's a way for you to.
I'm just folding my tripod in
Okay,
different
I
shapes.
was trying to think if there's any way to give you the audio without you listening to YouTube and hearing us again. Don't think there is.
No, there's not really a way, and that's fine. I don't need it.
Oh, I just jumped down. I'm dumb.
Do you have any of these flexible tripods, Zach?
I had one. I don't know where it went.
You could do really funny shapes with them, kind of like this.
Well, yeah, you made glasses when you said you got fired, and that was I didn't know what
Yeah.
it was you were making that.
You
with.
could do glasses. You could do other
I got
sorts of
fired
things, like
for saying Minion Mommy.
that. Wait, like this.
Oh shoot! Now you're getting.
Now that's a minion. Imagine if
So new school, when you got there, you said you guys have to be okay with Minion Mommies, and they said yes.
Well, the new school, yeah, I called them. It's like, hey, do you need substitute teachers? They're like, yes, we really do. I said, okay, listen to me. I don't know if you want to get into a big lawsuit, but I'm looking for a Minion Mommy, and that just has to be okay with you.
Yeah.
And
at
they
this point, with
said,
the shortage, I
okay.
bet they were like, "Come on."
Yeah,
I've read
well-
stories where they are taking like college students that are not done with their degrees. They're letting them sub.
Yeah,
And I've seen where they have also, I don't know if it was like veterans or retired veterans. They're letting them sub and like stuff that wasn't ever done before.
yeah.
Killing
Oh,
that I know of.
absolutely. They're desperate. That's why I was so surprised I got fired. Just
Yeah, that is
because
surprising.
it's
Minion
I was
Mommy
literally
so
the
bad.
only substitute teacher.
When they fired you, and then like the next day, they're like, "Hey, we need a sub. Where's Pierce at?" Yeah, we fired
Yeah.
him. Get
Yeah.
him back. You know what I mean? They're like,
Yeah. And you know what? At this point, if you're watching this, I will never come back. I will never
Yeah.
surrender.
They're
I will
definitely
never
watching the last of the
kowtow.
stream.
I hope they are. I hope they see.
You mumble in your sleep.
Mumble in your sleep. You minion in your sleep.
I hate bad dreams.
Just look at these facial animations. Oh my god.
Yeah, these are really good.
So freaking good. Love the music. I want this on vinyl.
You know,
Music's really good.
I've never been this close. It's the outside. Look how dark.
Yeah, Hendrik is saying he subbed for a while until he got his current job. I don't really want to work full time.
Can it?
I don't need to.
Earth to the firefighter.
So yeah, I just like subbing for now.
Yeah.
Soldiers fucking everywhere. How's Marlene? She'll make it. I saw the merchandise. It's a lot. You do this?
But do you see how they totally changed her? Her face got totally remapped.
Yeah,
Whereas Joel,
she looks like a different person.
and Ellie look similar, but they totally. Which I actually like the animations and stuff with her face. It's like, oh, this is like. I'm not like. They changed her face. I just think it looks really, really good.
I'm looking up a comparison right now because yeah, she looks way different.
Yeah.
Marlene wanted to do it herself.
And honestly, I mean, hey, she's cuter in the first one. Sorry,
She's lost a lot of men. Beggars can't be
More
choosers.
poly-
but she looks much more realistic in this
Yeah.
one.
Someone will be around.
Yeah, I wonder why they totally changed the face. I don't know. Maybe it was easier for the animations, or. Man,
I mean, I
lighting,
think they
though,
just
oh my
wanted to make it
gosh.
look more realistic. I mean, the comparisons I'm looking at right now between like the characters' facial models, it's kind of crazy how different, how much it makes Joel look older,
Yeah.
but it also makes it, I don't know, there's just a lot more texture to his face.
Did you see the GTA 6 leak thing?
No, I did not.
I would say to pull it up. I pulled it up on the stream, but the stream would get absolutely removed because they are GTA or those lawyers over there are just good at removing all this stuff. But somebody leaked a ton of GTA 6 like beta footage,
Really?
a ton, like quite possibly the biggest ever
waiting for us
of a
at the
game
drop-off.
like video game link.
She said there's some fireflies that have traveled all the way from another city.
Man, this
Girl
looks
must be
amazing.
important.
I'm looking at it right now. It looks pretty cool.
Some bigwig's daughter or something?
Something like that. How long is this all gonna take?
If everything goes as planned, we should get you to them in a few hours.
But the
Once we get out there, I need
it's
you to
like
follow around
90
these
different
stickers.
clips this guy leaked from that. But it looks like I'm really extremely excited for GTA because Red Dead Redemption 2 was a 10 out of 10, like perfect game. All of the interactions with the characters and the gameplay mechanics was such a ginormous leap from even GTA 5, which I liked GTA 5 a ton and I loved the characters and stuff, but Red Dead Redemption 2 felt like a ginormous like quantum leap. Even from those games, you know what I mean, from the first Red Dead and from that, but makes me excited for GTA 6 because I feel like they're going to be able to bring that over, you know.
This looks pretty cool. I'm watching some of these clips right now. I mean, this is crazy. The thing I loved about Red Dead Redemption 2 the most though was the story, and Grand Theft Auto stories have never grabbed me in that same way. So maybe they'll do something different in this one. I don't know.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto never... Like, I watched friends play the first couple, and then the fourth one was just okay. The checkpoint stuff was pissing me off in that game. I'd die and have to redo, like, a whole, like, 30-minute drive to this place. It was just a weird game, but GTA 5 really clicked with me, with all the characters you rotated between.
Yeah.
And the Red Dead Redemption 2, oh my gosh, I was obsessed with that story and the characters and the interactions.
We're good.
Holy shit. I'm actually outside.
Oh man, this looks really good.
Yeah. And
You're making me want to play this, but I'm not paying $70 for it. No way.
And the thing is, like, this is 1080p, but I played this. We got an OLED. We just got an OLED TV. And I played this on the OLED, and it's like a bigger TV for a basement. And I was getting spooked all over again. I was like, with my other TV, I could kind of put my knee up and like, oh, I'm just kind of really scared right now. But like, the TV is so encompassing in the OLED and HDR and stuff. I was like, I'm getting freaking spooked.
Spoopy.
Which I'm not really into spooky games, but
Up this way.
Oh yeah, you can't really watch horror movies.
No, the scariest part of this game is when you, oh shit.
Don't do anything stupid.
Scariest part of this game is when you fall into that basement. Do you remember that? You fall into that basement, or I think you have to go down there to get a key or something, and all the lights go out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that part's miserable for me.
This is Ramirez at Sector 12, requesting pickup for 3 stragglers.
Because I think you have to sneak around like one giant
The other
clicker
way.
down there.
It'll make this worth your while.
Shut up. Tired of shit.
Blasphemous 2, the hotel sequence where you're going through and there's all the explosive ones, that part's really cool. That and the part in Last of Us 1 where you're in like the boiler room and there's like the big fat guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck. I thought we were just gonna.
The Rat King in Last of Us 2 was really crazy. That part was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's a good level.
Marlene set us up? Why the hell are we smuggling an infected girl?
I'm not infected.
No? Just lying?
I can explain.
You better explain fast.
Look at this. Look at this.
I don't care how you got infected.
It's 3 weeks old.
No, everyone turns within 2 days, so you stop bullshitting.
It's 3 weeks. I swear. Why would she set you up?
I ain't buying it. Tess, run. Run!
Go! Go! Move!
I do hope Naughty Dog's next thing is I want just something sci-fi or something totally different. Like I've loved Uncharted,
Yeah.
I love Last of Us, but I want something a little bit more sci-fi or off the rails. You know?
I hope their next thing is Last of Us 2 multiplayer, so I could actually play that.
Oh, that is actually probably.
I hope I actually get to play that at some point because I love Last of Us 1 multiplayer so much. I was addicted to that
I never
until
played
fairly
it.
recently. Oh, it was so good! It was one of the most fun small-scale multiplayers. It was very old school.
It sounds like they put so much work into the new one that's still coming out that it's kind of like their own Fortnite is what it sounds like. So we will get cat ears and stuff in this new one, but
Oh yeah, I hope so. I hope there's cat ears and dabbing and Naruto and V-Bucks.
I see him.
It must have gotten through. Check the trenches.
Just stay back.
man, the slide.
Anything down there? Are we sure they came this way?
We're told otherwise. Just keep scanning.
Stay down, don't let him see you.
Come on, kid. Follow Joel.
What I really liked about Last of Us 2 was the guns felt really good.
Yeah, the gameplay was really great. I felt like.
Did they add adaptive triggers into this on PS5?
Yes.
Yeah, that.
When I pull the gun, there's adaptive.
So far, so good.
It does a really good job at using the rumble, adaptive rumble or whatever. Dual sense.
I hear him up
Man, I want to play this.
done with them soon enough.
Just pay $70.
No, I don't. I don't think so. No thanks.
Go.
Oops. Are you interested in that new God of War at all?
Yes and no. I really like the last God of War, but I'm not a fan of the entire franchise. I only played the last
Me
one.
too. I never played the PS2 ones. I still want to check those out,
We can get
but
through here.
I liked the new one, but I wasn't in love with it. It wasn't like. But I do want to have something to play. That comes out in November, so.
Yeah. Not the new one. The last one was really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked great, but it's not a story or a world that really I
Yeah.
care about at all.
And apparently, I didn't know this till recently. This second one, this is it. Like, this is the finale. Like, they're not making like a trilogy. These
Oh, cool. Yeah, end it so I don't have to play them.
so I don't have to play it. You have to end everything I don't play.
Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, really, because it's just a waste of time.
I gotta get band-aids. Ellie. Where's the band-aids? Ellie.
They're in here with us. See if you can distract her.
Who's there?
I think they see me. I think they
Listen.
Oh, God.
Are they still the Last of Us show?
Oh, shoot. Oh, I missed him. Oh, they have head armor.
Nice shot.
Kill him! Kill him! I love how the guns work in these games.
Yeah. Feels very-
Especially, they really increase the recoil in this from the original. I can tell.
I've got a heal.
In the building! Soldier down!
Where's this guy at? Ah! Got a big stick. Where's my big stick at? Oh, I use my big stick.
Freaking Teddy Roosevelt over here. I think it just automatically comes out when you mail it.
Yeah, I have to mail
Yep.
it. I got it. Ah! This guy up there. Oh, big shot. Oh, I got him. Yeah, the stuff with Twitch, I don't know if you'd seen any of that. They've banned gambling. There was like a big falling out with like a bunch of people. They found out people have paid off the Twitch people.
What?
There's all this weird stuff going on. Like they paid staff, like people would come into some of the gambling stuff, and some of those gamblers were paying the Twitch people. Like,
What?
in the chat. Also, they lowered the amount that creators were getting. I think they were giving them 70-30. Possibly, I can't remember. Maybe it's 60-40 or something. Now they're doing 50-50 or even less. I can't remember. But they lowered that, and then they're going to show more ads.
Oh, that's great.
So all this stuff, and I was just like, what are we doing here? Where are we going? Okay.
Let's see where this leads.
But most of the people, there's some people that come that I talk to on Twitch, and I have talked to some people on there, but a lot of our YouTube, like when we go live with all our subscribers, it shows that. Whereas on Twitch, I have like 3 subscribers, you know.
Yeah, this looks right.
But I've
Yeah.
always streamed to both, but it's like maybe I just need to
least we're out
switch
of
to
the way.
this.
I mean, Twitch is piece of crap anyway. It sucks. Horrible website.
How's it look?
Oh my
I mean, unless Bezos wants to give me money to endorse it.
Yeah, if Bezos gives you $1 million, that's your number. You're a sellout. I forgot.
I mean, I'll do it for 100.
I got more soldiers.
Target's still on the loose, sir.
Break off pursuit and report back to Sector 11.
I don't think they see us.
Acknowledge. Get to your vehicle.
Stay in the shadows.
So, any games you looking forward to the rest of the year coming out?
Oh man, what is coming out? Let me pull up my list.
Yeah, I've got a list too.
I don't think there's anything. I don't think, is Breath of the Wild 2 coming out this Christmas or next Christmas?
May 13th, I think, is
No.
when it's coming out.
Well,
Still around. Look,
It just got a release date.
that's next year. I thought it was like winter for some reason.
Thing, boss.
I don't think there's a single game I'm looking forward to.
There's a God of War, Bayonetta 3 is coming out.
Don't care about Bayonetta.
Final Fantasy Crisis Core. They
Don't care.
remastered that. Which I've always wanted to play that game, so I'm excited for that. That comes out in December. So I'm looking forward to that. So those 3, I think, are the main ones. I felt like there was something else, but... But next year is
Yes?
a freaking
Up through here through this
smorgasbord.
pipe.
The PSVR 2 is coming out next year.
Stay very close.
Not Breath of the Wild, it's called Tears of the Kingdom now. That's coming out next year, but I think they're going to launch that with a Switch too. I think they'd be dumb not to do
Oh,
that.
I'd be pissed.
You'd be pissed?
Yeah, because the only reason I'm holding on to my Switch is waiting for that game.
I think it'll come to both like they did with Twilight Princess, they've done that with, and Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
They'll put it on the original Switch, but I think they're going to launch that with the Switch too. It'll just be cross-gen.
The only thing that I'm even slightly excited to play this year is Splatoon 3.
Oh, that just came out, I think. Didn't it?
Did it just come out? Oh yeah, it just came out
Yeah.
on the 9th. I haven't gotten that yet. But I don't know if I'm not that passionate about it. I don't know why I need a third one. I like Splatoon
I really
2.
liked the first one. The second one didn't gel with me. I guess because I just didn't like the Switch's like Joy Cons trying to play it with.
Yeah.
I've heard it's better with like the Pro controller or whatever. But...
I used it with a PlayStation 4 controller with an adapter, so I
that'd be
liked
the
it
way to
more.
play it.
Yeah. What is coming out 2023?
Whatever happened to me?
Pull it up. There's a lot of good
key to
stuff.
finding a man.
Out 2023.
It's what she said.
Oh,
Alan Wake 2.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I didn't ask for
I am
this.
looking forward to that.
Tess, what the hell are we doing?
Oh, Atomic.
Stalker 2.
Oh,
That-
you're probably interested in this game too. I'm very excited about this. Apparently, it's still coming out this year.
I need to remind you.
Atomic
Stop
Heart.
there.
Have you seen that game at all?
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
one.
Atomic Heart. Oh, there's something. You should. I don't even know if we're allowed to stream this game, but it's called Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
I haven't heard of that.
It's an old like CDI
If we cut through downtown with
game, or not CDI, but like what was it?
We hope.
What?
It's one of those old
is
CD
this?
games, but it is a like a choose your own adventure thing,
That's amazing.
and it is so like B movie bad and like tries to be sexual and stuff, but it came out or whatever, and somebody ported it in the funniest way possible. They put the entire thing on YouTube. So what happened was, if you chose like choice 1, 2, or 3, you just had to click on the YouTube annotations or whatever, and that at the end of the video it would freeze or whatever, and you got to click that, and it would take you to that video.
That's
And
amazing.
they ported the whole game to YouTube. It was the funniest way to play that with friends. It was so freaking cool, and hilarious. That game had the most gonzo things you got to choose. So that's actually getting ported to Switch.
Wow.
Limited run games. So I'm absolutely buying that, because the only way you can play it is, well, they took it off YouTube. You no longer do that, but
Yeah, I'll definitely play that.
if we can stream that, that would be a fun one to stream. You know what would be fun to stream with you, which I've done it before, but like, it'd be fun if like we can both choose the choices. Super Seducer. I don't know if you've ever heard of that game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But Super Seducer, oh my gosh, me and my friends have played that, and we've streamed it on here, and
So what happened?
it actually has the funniest moment in any video game I've ever played.
Hoping to kill as much of the infected as
I
possible.
might even put it up as like a clip on YouTube, as it was cracking me up so much.
What the hell was that?
Tess, you hear that?
Yeah. It sounded pretty far away, though.
Are we safe? Are we safe?
For now.
We should have an FMV stream month when plumbers don't wear ties. We'll play Super Seducer that.
Yeah. I love those dating type sims, like the choose your own dating thing. Like they're really corny. Me and Emily have played a couple of them.
Lily.
They're pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. Super Seducer is really funny. One of my favorites is called Wirehead, and it was for Sega CD.
Was. Now it's a giant
That one has the most gonzo. That's what makes them fun. Is like, hey, do you want to like tell him, or this guy's got a gun to your head? Do you want to tell him I'll back off, or you know, pinch his nose? It's like that kind of like choices. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Like, what could possibly happen in this situation? Another good thing about this game, and they borrowed it, I think, for Last of Us Part 2, and I think other games are borrowing it, but like, the goal is to get to that temple, and it's like you can click L3 to like look at, and you can always see in the distance where your goal's at. Like, okay, I'm getting closer. I think it's a good game design.
Anything with hot ladies in it is good game design, in my opinion. In my opinion.
In my opinion.
Hey, Tess.
Yes. Like, there's some clickers.
Man, I forgot about Atomic Heart. Now I'm just looking at screenshots and getting excited.
Atomic Heart, when they did that reveal trailer, I just fell in love. That was the only game in a long time since COVID and all that stuff happened that I was like, whoa, what is this game?
Yeah. I still don't really even know. I don't really have a good idea what's going to be like.
Yeah, me neither. That's what I'm excited about. It's like I'm looking at. I'm like, what am I even looking at? Like these giant robots. The graphics are incredible. I don't even know what it is. But it looked really interesting.
It's been ripped apart. Body's pretty fresh. Body's pretty fresh.
Is that bad?
See, just look how realistic that is.
Let's not stick around.
Yeah, this looks crazy.
Yeah.
It's very gory. I'm a little uncomfortable. So do people's heads still like explode now? This one is it like super
Yes, like I think
violent like Last of Us 2?
I don't even know. I don't think this was this way in the original, but in part 2, like when you shot, blood squirted from like the spot.
Yeah.
And it does.
No, it had like really detailed dismemberment.
Yes, and they added that back into this one. They brought that to this game because I don't remember. Maybe I need to see a comparison or whatever. But like the blood will squirt like when you shoot somebody's head, and it's like, oh my gosh, like. And again,
Yeah.
I've played games my whole life. It's just for some reason it's getting a little bit too realistic. I heard that when like they made that Call of Duty game, World War II. Because when I played on the PC, it was like, okay, this is a video game. I don't even think about this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
my dad would like come in and is like, oh, that's the gun. Like, I've seen that gun in real life, blah, blah, blah. But now it's so realistic. It's like, oh, this somebody like lived this. It's like, oh, I'm like seeing the Battle of Normandy, and it's like, okay, somebody actually did this. Like, okay.
If only we could make a game about like minions though.
Yeah, like Minion Mommies, people.
Yeah. Oh, I'm also excited for Sons of the Forest. I really like The Forest. Have you ever played that?
No.
Oh, we should play The Forest, Zach. It's a great co-op game. It's really fun.
Jeez.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong with its face?
That's what years of infection will do to you.
So what are they? Blind?
Sort of. They see using sound.
Like bats?
Like bats. If you hear one clicking, you gotta hide. That's how they spot you.
This game does a great job getting you ready to see these freaking things. There's tons of special moments in this game, but one that I always think about is Ellie when she, because she's never been outside and seeing some of these things in the world the way things used to be, and they see an ice cream truck. They're in like the suburbs at one part in this game, and Ellie sees this truck and it's like, she's like, what is that? It's like, oh, it's the ice cream truck. And Joel's like, it would play music, and then the kids would come out and you'd buy the ice cream, and she's like, what? That is so weird. Like, you know, she's
Yeah.
like, why? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you ever do that? Like, that was really cool. Funny moment. Next week we're playing Multiversus on the channel, and that's free to play.
That's heresy. I'm ashamed that game exists.
Why?
That's the one with all the like the Scooby Doo and Game of Thrones, right?
Is Game of Thrones on there?
Yeah, Game of Thrones is on there. I don't know. I just feel
It's
like
all Batman and Scooby Doo. It's all DC
Yeah.
stuff, or not?
it's
DC.
all Warner Brothers,
Warner
right?
Brothers,
And
yeah.
Warner Brothers owns Game of Thrones show, so it's got Daenerys and stuff in there too.
Feels like it's about to fall
So
apart.
yeah, God, don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. I'll say something and I'll get fired again.
Yeah, don't say any more things about Minion Mommies, or you hating something.
Watch your head.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, I want to play this.
Everything is totally cool.
Maybe I could convince Matt to buy it for
Do
and
your
split it with
family
me.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't get it.
It's so expensive.
Where is Matt? Matt needs to come back for. I think he's wanted to play.
We should text him to get on next time.
They changed these faces. The one in the freaking gym, the first giant one you see or whatever, that's very different.
You all
It's
right?
really different. And the clickers' faces are much more detailed.
Let's search for supplies.
Oh man, this looks so good. This, I mean, even just watching it on the stream,
Let's get the hell out of here.
I'm glad they remade it. Like
Yeah.
I think great that they've updated it to like the most recent graphics, and they should leave it here forever and ensure that this is playable on every future console.
Yeah.
Like, beautiful.
I think from PS5 on, I think they're just gonna backwards compatible that stuff really easy.
I hope so.
Because
I
everything
I hope so.
prior, it just was. I mean, even with the PS4, you can pop in a PS4 disc or all your PS4 downloadable stuff you can play on the PS5. I think it was after PS4 generation and stuff. I think stuff's going to be a lot easier to backwards compatible like play.
Yeah.
The PS3, they developed themselves into a corner with that. That just is too much, to port. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think
That's my hope. I really wish. I really hope that PS5 on is backwards compatible, so you don't have to keep buying Skyrim on 100 devices.
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if it will happen. What makes sense and is good doesn't often happen. So
Getting my new TV, they have that NVIDIA, what is it called now? NVIDIA Now or something, or GeForce Now? I don't know what it's
yeah,
called. But you can stream like games straight to it, and it's just like on their servers, so it's all like high, the max settings on everything. But it's on my TV, and my TV is so much faster than my old TV, like the smart TV menu and stuff. I had a Vizio before, but it's so much smoother, and I was like, man, I could just Bluetooth connect a controller to my TV now. I have no console, and I could play at max resolutions. It's crazy.
yeah. Your TV is now not just like a display output; it's an actual machine. That's
and
crazy.
We've talked about it on the podcast recently of how. Because I just got my new basement and stuff, and I set up a ton of my old physical games. I'm a collector. I have all these, video games and stuff. But, and I still buy physical even from PS5. I've kind of made a choice. I will stop. I'm fine if they force me. You know what I mean? If PS6 comes out, I'm pretty convinced when the PS6 comes out, that's all digital or streaming. There's no way. I feel like they'll do physical. But
Up there.
I was seeing the writing on the wall when my wife was down here, and I was like, look, you can actually stream all these games straight to the TV and just have them. You're not even they're not, you don't have to put a disc in, you don't have to download anything, it's all streaming. And my wife was just she's not into technology, she's not into anything. She just went, oh yeah, that makes sense because I'm already doing my music and my movies and TV shows and stuff on Netflix. The normal consumer, I think they just plug and play that. Whereas I am this is crazy. You know what I mean? It's weird where.
Yeah, I mean, once the entire country, including rural areas, is on fiber, then that's not going to be an issue.
Which I think I think in 10 years when the PS6, is ready to come out, because I think with COVID and stuff, this is going to be one of the longest generations because people still can't get a PS5.
Yeah.
So I don't even think, realistically, a lot of people have been able to even get the PS5. It's been a weird start to this generation to the point where it's
Come on, big guy.
I think we're going to be here another 10 years. I think it's going to be 20 freaking. I don't know. 30,
I hope so.
3.
I don't want to buy another console.
Till we get a new console. But when we do, I think it's in 10 years, I think with Starlink, I don't know if you've seen that stuff with Starlink, the Tesla's Starlink. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Stuff like that where you can stream and do all that stuff. I think where we're going to be at in 10 years when the next console's I think all that stuff's going to be easy, but First clicker encounter. I really liked the system of hiding around these things, and it gets very scary because you're just like wincing and trying not to get caught.
There's that one part. I think it's a.
Oh, this
you're
is
either
new.
in a mall or a zoo.
This is
What
new.
is?
They have a system. It auto I'm all like kind of auto locked on when I look over to it. I can just throw the bottle right at it if I want to, or I can just do the aim like normal. But
that's nice. There's a part where you're either in the mall or the zoo as Joel. You and Ellie are separated, and you're sneaking through, and there's like 7 clickers or something like that between you and the door.
yeah,
And you have to. I don't know if you've played this on Crushing, the added extra hard difficulty for the PS4 version.
No.
But I beat it, and oh my god, it was like, it's so ridiculously hard. The clickers are terrifying when you play on the highest, that insane difficulty, because they're just like, if they grab you once, you're done.
Yeah.
You're completely dead.
Okay, I'm just running. I'm leaving Ellie. Goodbye, girls. Good luck. Oh, here they are.
I think that's it. Ellie, you okay?
Ellie, okay? Sorry, Ellie.
Shitting my pants?
Totally left you. Yeah, it's crazy for me with the streaming stuff because it's so much harder than a movie or a music, stream. Like the work and capital you need to stream a game is crazy. It is unreal what it takes to stream a video game.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
But also with a show and like music, it's just playing something statically. Whereas a game is dynamic, and that's the thing where I'm still hung up on cloud gaming is like that there is a theoretical like limit to how fast you can get inputs into the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To go to their servers, to come back, to go, and then like it's streaming basically a YouTube video of your actions, but it's like, well, the action has to get there and back within. It's never going to beat my television.
Yeah. I mean, there's a theoretical limit that's really high, but then the also like real limit on the ground is like an eighth of that theoretical limit.
Yeah.
Right. So it's super. I mean, it has to get to the point where everybody's on like 1,000 megabits per second fiber, and while you're in a city, you also aren't being throttled for like bandwidth with your neighbors or something.
But to get that freaking that lag for the input is stuff I think they're gonna have a real hard time.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like they're getting kind of creative with the solutions. Like we have to fix this problem. They I think in Stadia they have something built into where it's predicting your next movements. Or stuff that you're doing. I could be wrong on this, but I felt like I read something like they're trying to fix it.
I'll go check it out.
That's crazy.
Stay with the girl.
Got a revolver. I got a revolver, Ellie. I got a revolver, Ellie. I'm gonna go use the clicker room, as they say, real quick.
The little clicker room?
So vamp for me real quick.
Vamp, 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 vamp. Vamp, 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 vamp. Vamp, 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 vamp. Vamp, 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 vamp. Vamp, 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 vamp. So, is anybody looking forward to video game coming out? Is anybody looking forward to having a game to play? Uh, Video games are pretty fun. Video games can be fun. You used to play video games as a kid and think, "Wow, this is fun." But now that I'm old, I play video games mostly for the story, and I really, I'm really just trying to get a good story in once in a while. But when you're, when you're young, you play video games because it's fun. When you're old, you play because it's a story, and I think that it's basically like story time for adults. You know,
What's did you do a good job vamping?
I'm
About video games.
just talking about how when you're young, you play video games for fun. When you're old, like me, you play video games for the story. And it's not really fun anymore. It's not really a thing that's fun.
You
It's
know
a
what the
thing that you
least
have
fun-
to do.
You know what the most not fun game was?
What?
I mean this honorably. Last of
Uh-huh.
Us Part 2. I
Yeah.
thought that game sucked my soul away of like just
Do you actually? Did you actually kind of not have fun playing it?
Yeah, there was a lot of times I just wanted to skip certain parts. Like
Yeah.
it,
So I felt.
and I felt like it would have been better as a TV show. That's what I'm kind of excited about. Now the HBO show kind of follows this original game more, but the HBO show, I was like, I feel like this Last of Us Part 2 would have worked better as a TV show than me playing through it, because I had less fun playing through it than I did. This felt like, oh gosh, like I'm surviving and stuff. Last of Us Part 2 felt like there was it wore out its welcome. Like I was doing the same interactions a lot with the clickers and stuff, and I was like, I'm done. Like, just get me out of here. Like, I'm kind of miserable. Now, I will say that that came out right when COVID and we were all locked down, and it was like a pandemic. You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't feel good at times to play that game either. So,
Yeah, I mean, I was playing that game, and even when I was kind of having fun with some of the mechanics, it was always just it disturbed me a little bit, and I was already like kind of depressed because of the pandemic and lockdowns. And I mean, that game is really intense and gross.
it is.
And yeah, I finished playing it because I felt more like I had to rather than I actually wanted to finish it.
Yeah, I feel you. I need something to throw out here.
Also, I'm looking at screenshots from like promotional images from the Last of Us HBO show, and man, that it's gonna suck.
You think it's gonna suck? I think HBO.
Oh yeah. I mean, HBO does good stuff, but they also do like the last season of Game of Thrones. And
oh gosh, I'm just running. Uh-oh. Oh gosh. What the frick happened? I don't know. I trust HBO. I think they make good stuff. And Game of Thrones, they just, for some reason, instead of just sticking through with it, they kind of rushed that last part. Because I really did like Game of Thrones, a ton of it, because of they would take time. It would take like 2 years for a character to meet another character, and then they get to the end and they just really quickly like. There's even a part with Tyrion, and he kind of just says what happened in the last 2 weeks. They like kind of time jump for the first time in that entire show, you know.
yeah,
And it's like, what were they thinking with that? I don't know.
because they ran out of original source material and also got lazy and were able to rest on their laurels. I mean,
what is crazy is that if you've seen, they did behind the scenes of each like episode and stuff. the work that went into that is ungodly. That they had to go into each episode. I don't know if they were just sick of it and they just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people, you keep something going for so long, and people, unless they're really convicted about what they're making, they get lazy and just give up.
But man, if I was killing myself that much to make a show, go the extra, you know what I mean? Like, if you're already doing that, I get it if you're like on the whole last season and you bonk the whole last season. But I felt like the last season had some amazing like stuff we were waiting to see forever. And I think that stuff paid off, but when it got to the end, man, we could have done with another, I even say 4 episodes minimum, you know. And I think they could have cleared up the issues. I really do. But man, probably could have had a whole other season. But
Yeah, I think that you actually would enjoy making something and want to make something. And I think a lot of people just, they make it for a couple of years and work hard on something, and then they're just like, I'm just going to keep doing it for the money. They don't really want to, right?
yeah,
I don't think anybody really, there's very few people who have a mindset that sustain things they care about.
yeah. But I give it to him, like, dude, that was just miserable. Some of the shoots, like out in the cold, and I don't know how. Like, it just took a lot out of him, probably. But man, if I suffered that much, it's like, well, just do it for a little bit longer. Let's just make this right. But I heard that I think it's gonna be interesting once the smoke clears, because when that season came out, I was like, man, I can't wait to see what happened. Like, what the frick happened?
Yeah.
Like, I think we'll get it all cleared out. But some people were saying that it was probably from. Oh gosh, I gotta run here. Oh gosh, clicker. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm running. Oh my gosh. Look at the hill. You can see me again. I just need to move this. Let me move it.
You dead? You dead?
But
It's over.
The clicker's gonna get me. I'm out of ammo. Here we go. Uh-oh, it's going that way. Oh my gosh, every time I go over here. I don't have any. Oh, shoot. Let me get this bottle right here.
I also think Pedro Pascal is kind of a weird choice. Why is he being cast in everything now?
He's the hot guy.
It's weird though. He's not. It's not like he's that. He's not that good in it. Like he's not bad, but it's just like there's nothing that I can think of where it's like his performance was really like amazing and everybody wants him because of his performance. It just seems like he's in stuff that like gamer type nerds think are cool, like the Mandalorian. He's just a cool guy.
He's a cool I can't move this now. Let me move it before. Do I have to kill this thing now? How do I put my weapon away? How do I put my weapon away?
Sounds like you're kind of an idiot.
Let me pull this. That's all of them. Now I can push it.
Now come on up.
Because they caught me.
This game's kind of scary.
Press, Joel.
Let's just get out of here.
Oh man, I hate slowly pulling the stuff in this game. I'm
Yeah,
having PTSD,
that
I'm
was
having
one thing-
flashbacks.
That was one thing I got.
Tess, go.
One thing I got made fun of for this first one is you're always picking up ladders and moving
Yep.
up for Ellie. Which they did fix that. That's not in the second game. I think they make fun of it in the second game. But you know, there'd be a lot of heavy stuff in real life. You'd have to move.
Yeah, it's true.
If the apocalypse or any of this happened, I would find you. You'd be like the Tommy. I would go across the United States.
That's nice. Yeah, you come find me.
Yeah, because I feel like
I'll
you
lift
would have
I'll
the
lift
survival
stuff
skills.
for you,
You would be able.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Hey, watch this! I could start a fire."
Here, patch yourself up.
and you'd be like, "Wow, that's cool! I brought my giant Mario from my basement."
I brought it
Like,
all the
oh,
way
right.
across.
Instead of Ellie, you bring the giant Mario. And it's like, the thing is, it's like people were asking for help. Your wife was like, "Zach, we have to go," and you're like, "No, there's only room for me and Mario
Yeah,
on the horse. We're going."
I have
Goodbye.
been joking, and it will be funnier once you see the gaming basement I've built down here. But my wife, whereas I kept everything, I kept boxes to stuff and like collector mindset. I just was really crazy as a kid. And the joke is like she literally only has like one keepsake from her childhood that she kept, and it's like this bear that her grandma gave her, and she's like, "This is the only thing I have," and I keep going, "I'm sorry, there's no room." And once you see the game room, like I have a million shelves down here, it's like, "I'm sorry, there's no room," but
That's
I'm
funny.
gonna have to bring all that with me actually across.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bring it all.
I'm gonna bring
all
the
of it.
biggest U-Haul. It's gonna take the biggest U-Haul they have.
And your wife is gonna be pushing while you and Mario sit in the front.
Yeah, Mario's gonna be in the front. It was funny because I saw a picture the other day. You know, like Facebook will show you like this many years ago, this thing or whatever. It was from 12 years ago. It was when I got that giant Mario statue. And I remember when I got it, I was like, I'm gonna keep this. Like I kept it in my parents' garage. I was living at my parents at that time. And I said, when I get a basement, one day when I have a house and I finally get a basement, I'm gonna put this down there. And it took me 12 years to get to a point.
But
where I
it's
had a
finally
house with a
happened.
basement. In order
It's
to get
finally happened.
finally happened.
You've got a man cave, the Mario cave.
Yeah, it took.
Yeah, I want to see this basement.
Yeah,
Are you gonna
I'm-
start streaming from down there?
That's where I'm at. I'm down here right now.
Oh, you're down there? Wait,
Yeah.
that's a basement?
Yeah, let me.
It looks so nice.
I'll zoom out a little bit, and I'll take the. I have like a what's it called? Like a blur effect.
Yeah, you
on
got
right
blurry.
now.
The Netflix Witcher filter.
Yeah, let me take that off. I'll try to show a little bit of it. Little sneak peek.
Nick pick.
Sneak peek. Crap, I gotta take this off. Camera. Okay, took the blur off. So here I am in the basement. Can you see better now?
Yeah.
So behind me, we have a fireplace.
Got a pool table?
We have
Nice.
pool table back here. We're getting a new sofa, but they're so ungodly expensive. We're buying one from a friend right here. And this is my old, like, this is the one I had in my original, like, game room and stuff. We just brought it down. It's like a two-person sofa thing. Right here is where the new game systems are at and stuff, and this is our TV on the wall. Let me zoom out a little bit.
That's in. There you go.
Mario's back there. You can
There's
see
Mario! Yeah! Woo!
Woo!
We did it!
And if I move this over, you can see one part. This is a sneak peek exclusive. Let me get this over. If I move it over here, there's some of my shelves.
Look at that.
So there's some of my...
The bottom shelf.
These are all
Love
the
it.
Final Fantasy VII figures that are coming out. Evangelion is on this shelf right here. Final Fantasy Remake, Metal Gear figures, and here's all my...
That's sick.
Here's all my like boxes to my old systems are on these things.
That's amazing.
Amiibos, Nintendo
Dang.
over there.
Look at that. I love all your Game Boy boxes, man. That's sick.
And
Look at that.
then if I move over here, can you see this? You can. So this is the retro corner.
Dang.
And on the retro corner, I've got like, how can I even point? CRT, TV, old consoles are down here. Some old action figures. So
That's
there's
sick.
even more, but it's kind of
You've got a whole basement devoted to your video game collection and figures. That's crazy.
It was a long
And
time.
Mario gets to stay down here all the time.
All the time. It's his dominion.
That's sick.
Yeah, I'm very excited about having a space finally to
Yeah.
chill and hang out.
Yeah, you could, I mean, get in a fight with your wife. Who cares?
Yeah, I'll
Go
just
down there.
So say you're in the doghouse, and I'm going, yay!
Yay! The boys love the doghouse, while the girls get to go to the freaking bedroom where all the losers are.
Yep.
Excuse me, while you're sleeping on your comfy sofa, I'm going to be down here partying with Mario,
Yeah,
playing retro consoles.
I have no problem whatsoever.
Yeah,
This is
saving up my ejaculate in my empty Game Boy and Xbox boxes.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
I think it's a good place to stop. I did want to pull up some. What did we want to pull up and look at and think about? Some of the comparison stuff. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Real quick. I always. This is a habit because I'm a boomer millennial. I still will save manually if given the choice in a video game.
Yes, of course.
I don't.
I do too.
Even though it auto saves, I will still do that. Now, I will say it's funny that Pokemon games. I think the newer ones might auto save, maybe. But I've heard horror stories of people getting those newer, like when they came on Switch, like Let's Go Pikachu, I think was one, or something else. People were just turning off the game because they're so used to autosave in every single video game, and then coming back on and notice they lost like 4 hours, 5 hours of progress when they first started the game. No autosave.
That's what you get.
So I'm glad that autosave is there, but it's like that needs to be there.
Yeah, you need to every opportunity I get manually save.
Yeah.
I agree.
For sure. Okay, let's do let's pull some comparisons, dude. Pull up some comparisons, dude.
See these comparies.
Last of Us PS5 comparison. Now, I looked at the comparison, and I don't think if you look at the pixel counts, it's not really that different.
Oh, I mean the polygons. It's still just polygons, guys. It's still just polygons.
I actually did a deep pixel analysis, and it's actually not worth it.
I did a DP analysis.
I don't know if anybody
I did a
else
DP
saw
analysis.
this issue, but okay, can I? Oh, this would be so cool if I could do this.
I've had a cold. I've still got a cough.
Jeez, Pizzo.
And I'm so congested.
Jeez, oh Pizzo, you freaking nature.
Freaking nurture.
Okay, now I have to stream it to you, so you can see.
Let's see these comparisons. Let me do my DP analysis.
All right, we're going to do a deep pixel analysis now.
All right, I'm watching.
Okay, you watching?
I'm here. I'm seeing it. It's a cool chart. I really like it. The arrow goes up.
The Last of Us Part 1, and see how it compares from a visual perspective to the previous version of the game, The Last of Us Remastered.
Every YouTuber that talks about games sounds like a boring idiot.
Confused by this naming convention.
Just confused by the naming
convention. Action adventure game, first released for the PlayStation 3 back in 2013. It was then re-released a year later as The Last of Us Remastered for the PS4.
Was it only a
and
year
offered a
between
few
that
modest
remaster? I guess that
visual
makes
and
sense, it was
performance
so late.
improvements.
Wow.
The Last of Us Part 1, however, is a top-to-bottom remake of this original experience, using a modified version of the engine that was used to build The Last of Us Part 2 back in 2020. The result is a dramatically overhauled visual presentation, with
Is it really a top-down? I feel like some stuff you can kind of feel the stiffness of a PS3
character models, environments, lighting, effects, animations.
But I mean, look at these comparisons. Like that is all these textures are different.
Yeah.
Like over here is.
It's a full remake.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You can't see my pointer, can you? Can you see my pointer?
No, I can't. Yeah,
Okay.
I see it.
Yeah, like right here on the.
Yeah, that's a completely different object.
The textures are all different.
It's not just the textures. I mean, it's literally the object are different.
UI redesigns.
Yeah, this whole little area is different. There's no like. Oh my gosh! Yeah.
That's
basically
it's not a half remake.
today.
It's like kind of a.
For this analysis, both games are being played on a PlayStation 5 console, with the visual settings set to a locked 4K resolution at
Shut up! Who cares?
in order to
Who
deliver the
cares?
highest
Oh
qualty
yeah,
possible.
that remaster got a 4K.
I've also
like
disabled
all the free
both the
updates
film
they're
grain
doing to
and the motion blur options where possible in order to capture cleaner still images. That being said, I did also capture a lot of gameplay footage in the remake's performance mode as well, and will be using that footage occasionally throughout the course of this video. Alright, so let's kick this comparison off by first looking at the changes made to the game's cinematics. Now, at first glance, everything should look somewhat familiar. All the same characters are present, all the voice lines sound the same, and the camera angles are mostly identical. However, once you actually go back and play the two versions side by side, the changes become much more apparent. For starters, the cutscenes in Part 1 are now rendered in real time, as opposed to before where important cinematics were pre-rendered and set to play in between levels. By doing this, Part 1 maintains a more consistent visual tone and aesthetic than its predecessor, with things like resolution and color tone no longer abruptly changing between the gameplay and the cinematic. Additionally, the animators and environmental artists at Naughty Dog have spent a considerable amount of time updating every frame of these sequences, adding in necessary detail in some areas, while removing distractions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Adding in necessary detail
That is
Yeah,
like
look at that.
Yeah, that's like this is like the most smooth thing, and there's water.
That's crazy.
Gosh, you know what all else is amazing remake was the Halo 2 cinematic stuff. That is
Yep.
like they made a whole freaking movie. Those are unbelievable.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, this is crazy. So yeah, the remastered is definitely on that in that PS3 shell. It just they just re-upped the resolution, and I think you can play 60 frames. I think was in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is oh my gosh with the water.
Yeah, it makes me want
Some
to get.
areas
I got my
are
first
removing
4K TV that could do 120 hertz, so it's like I want to play this, but
Yeah, I think the TV we just got is the first one I've ever had that's 120 hertz as well. Different shirt. Yeah, these are totally different.
Distracting elements in others.
Models.
Take this sequence at the end of the capital encounter, for example. As you can see,
Dude, oh my gosh. Yeah, like there was like a wall here. They took the wall out. There's like a. Oh my gosh. They just totally changed this part. I hate this change.
practically
Where's
every
the
aspect of this environment has been
This
altered
looks bad.
This restaurant was everything to
in
me.
one way or another.
that restaurant had memories.
Now fully extends across the ground, leaving no ground texture visible like before. And the structure housing the subway entrance has been redesigned to be some sort of concrete public walkway, as opposed to the oddly placed storefront buried in boulders from before.
Okay.
By removing things like this red awning here, the viewer's eyes are now more likely to focus on the preferred subjects, in this case, Joel and Ellie. Though, if the viewer does look away, the background environment does at least make more logical sense, and creates a more believable world.
I
Another
do
interesting
have a
example of
criticism
this is-
though of this.
Okay.
And it's something that is very common. You're like just the completely subdued colors of the new one.
Yeah.
The last one had way more warmer tones.
Yes, I see.
And
that,
I
yeah.
like that a lot. It's not that it looks bad. It's just that like you've taken out a variety of colors and really color graded it to be very blue.
Yeah, it's more saturated. You can see on the right
It's
than on the left.
immediately
Yeah,
after
for sure.
exploring the ruins of the museum, where Ellie crosses across a plank in between two tall buildings. In the remake, you can now much more clearly make out Ellie's profile as she crosses the beam, thanks to a much less aggressive depth of field, better lighting, and a rework to the appearance of the windows in that distant structure. Examples of these little changes can be found in practically every cutscene, as the artists were no doubt trying to improve subject presence in every frame, and the end result is both familiar yet improved at the same time.
It's also crazy, like, there was a debate, like, did we even need this remake? But it has been nearly a decade since the original 2013 when the first one came. But I don't think people, like, wrap their heads around that. Like, that's the difference of, like, you know, an entire 10 years has passed.
Yeah.
2 generations have passed. It was at the end of PS3, but it still came out on that hardware. It's 2 generations ago.
Yeah. I have no problem with the remake being made. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's $10 more than the original game.
Yeah.
Hello.
Change that
Hello?
you've probably already picked up on.
But I do appreciate, like, it is a ton of work.
Changes
So it's
that have
like,
been
yeah, I
made to-
don't. I will say the $70 price point. The way I feel about that is that I think it was inevitable with how game development and how expensive that is. I'm okay with it. It just, to me, and I'm okay with that, it just means I buy less games on day one. If you can wait 2 weeks and get it for $60, there's going to be a sale in 2 weeks, you know what I mean, for certain games. But
I don't care that games themselves are $70. It just means I buy less.
Yes.
And I already try to buy less and be content with what I have. But it's just that this game is $70. I've played this game. I've bought a remaster of this game.
Character models.
Yeah.
While the character models in the original game aren't
Should be
necessarily
free.
bad looking, they haven't aged particularly well.
Bernie.
either.
I'm voting for Bernie,
There's
so he
an
makes this free.
uncanniness to characters like Joel and Ellie that doesn't quite escape looking like a pair of digital characters, no matter how expressive their animation work is. The remake, however, brings these characters more in line with their appearances in the sequel, with more realistic hair rendering, superior texture work, and vastly improved light interaction.
They really made
You can
Joel
see
look a
all
lot
these
older.
improvements clearly
Yeah.
with the in-game
And it's
model in
kind of
Joel
weird
view,
because
whereas
he looks like he does in the second one, but
Yeah.
that's like several years after. So I don't
Yeah.
know. That's weird. He
hair
look
density
how
has been
old he looks.
increased
Wow.
considerably on his scalp and beard. And when you zoom in really close, you can see that same visual noise that we observed with The Last of Us Part 2, suggesting that this is likely the same technique at play. The character's skin also appears to be reflecting light a bit more naturally, thanks
Wow.
to subsurface scattering,
Last of Us Part 2 is still a beast of graphics. It is.
ensuring a more proper
Unbelievable.
dispersion of light and color than the almost wooden appearance of Joel in the original versions. Then, of course, there's the eyes, that appear to be borrowing the fantastic eye rendering techniques used in Part 2,
Oh my
doing away
gosh.
with those fixed white dots that were previously used to fake the eye's reflective property. This improvement is even more noticeable when looking at Ellie's model.
What's
whose
also crazy is this is basically the beginning of the generation. Like, what are we gonna see? You know, at the end.
giant puppy dog eyes in the original game always looked a little bit off, but now her eyes look as though they're reflecting the environment in some scenes, which is critical in creating a believable human character. The interesting consequence of this is that many of the characters almost look like entirely different people now.
Yeah, that's true. But
That's
this,
amazing.
This guy looks like a Half-Life 2 character to me now.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
looks like a stylized almost realism, whereas this is like, yeah, they're going for realism.
Look at
With
the
the improved lighting
freaking
and
texture
shading.
on his collar,
Yeah, let's go back.
on his new collar. Look at the
The ridges,
like
yeah.
right there, the corduroy ridges. That is insane.
Yeah, that is so unbelievable. That's why I like. Well, I will personally just Naughty Dog's one of the few companies I will go out in day one and get certain some of these games.
Many of the characters
But
I still think they should give it to me for free. I lost my job. Hello,
Well,
Naughty
you
Dog.
Well, you put the Minion Mommies above your job. So
Why doesn't Naughty Dog have the Minion discount?
almost look like
just tweet at him and say I got fired
You know what?
for saying Minion Mommy. Will you
I
support
don't
me?
have a Twitter anymore. Will you do it for me?
entirely
Yeah, I'll do
different.
it for you. Hey, my friend.
No, I'm
Not
serious.
me,
Go
not
ahead.
Me,
Go
my
ahead.
Friend.
Do it right now.
people now.
Let's go.
With the improved light.
This is crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Oh my
Look at
gosh.
the light reflecting on his face,
On the
like very
on the
softly, is so
collar
much
right
better.
here. The light shining. They got extremely ungodly good on the Last of Us Part 2. They learned how light like travels through the skin. So like if you get really close on this stuff, you could see like light is going through actually the skin. Like on the edges of the ears and stuff, big time, you can see like if a light shines through your ear, like comes up to your ear, it can actually go through it and like turns red. That's kind of what you're seeing here is like that
Yeah.
subsurface, I guess is what you would call it. Like,
Lighting and shader work now accentuating details that weren't as noticeable before.
oh my gosh.
Joel, for instance, always had bags under his eyes and wrinkles on his forehead, but they didn't really have any depth, and appeared as just lines drawn onto his face. Now, there's an
He looked like he was made out of clay back then on the PS3, I guess, like looking at it now. But
actual difference in the color tone between the bags under his eyes and his cheekbones, and the shadowing with each line and wrinkle ages the character considerably. Tessa's transformation is even more dramatic.
look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they aged her.
That looks so much better.
Yeah.
As her original model lacked pretty much any defining facial features, aside from a few cuts on her cheek and forehead. But now, large laugh lines, freckles, wrinkles along her neck, and more gray hair establish this character as someone who is slightly older than how she first appeared. Alongside improvements to each model's face, skin,
Yeah,
and
I think
hair,
that was the most dramatic.
Part 1 also redoes a lot of the clothing and accessories too. The core of each
All right, let's skip through. We don't want to watch. Oh, this is interesting. Artificial intelligence. I did want to see.
Naughty Dog have also work throughout the course of the game, demonstrating genuine fear and concern in ways that were really only implied before. Characters will sometimes even spit as they're yelling.
Oh, this. I did want to
Each
see
of these
animation,
clothing
too.
items, and things like the character's
Oh
backpacks,
my gosh! Look at that. There's like tape. There's duct tape on it now, and
Yeah, that's crazy.
oh my gosh!
more than make up for this. as the low-res textures of the previous character models stood out a great deal when played at a higher resolution. Moving on, we have animation. For the most part, a lot of the character animations found throughout the course of the gameplay experience remain the same as what you remember. The movement and control feel about the same, with the only exception being that Joel doesn't seem to reach out and touch walls as often, and will now hesitate before dropping off of a high ledge. Some animations have even been introduced from The Last of Us Part 2, mainly the great looting animations that see Joel reach out and grab items directly, and the extended workbench animations whenever a player wants
Those
to
are
upgrade
really
their
cool.
weapons.
That part in part 2, when you go to the workbench and you think you're safe there, and it seamlessly went into the cutscene where the guy grabbed you, I screamed at the top of my lungs. Like,
Yeah.
that was such a good part in part 2. Oh my gosh.
But a bulk of the animation work can be found in the game's cinematics, where each character is now much more expressive. These redone animations help to really amplify the excellent voiceover work throughout the course to flank the player during combat and use cover realistically. The friendly ally artificial intelligence has always been somewhat problematic. Characters like Ellie and Bill would regularly dash back and forth in front of the player while sneaking around, sometimes walking directly in front of the enemies and breaking the immersion completely. With the remake, this annoying problem has finally been addressed. Friendly characters can predict the path of an enemy from further away than before, allowing them more time to reposition and hide out of sight. Shadows generated from the player's firearm
That's a gun.
a remarkable improvement over the previous
Cool.
2014
Now
remaster.
you have to buy it.
Just about everything has been addressed in one
Look
way
at
or
this.
another.
Everything's been updated.
Whether it be the outdated character designs and unnatural lighting, or the distracting cutscene transitions and broken AI.
Well, that has been The Last of Us Part 1.
I will buy it if Matt splits it with me. We'll see.
So we gotta hope for Matt to split it with you.
Yeah, let's hope.
Thank you guys for joining us. Last week, Pierce did leave early, and we didn't get in time.
Oh my God!
Explain
I'm
to
leaving.
him that
Nope.
the
Bye
Keyblade
bye 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 bye
Look,
bye
there's
bye.
But can you
This
video is not
intended
for children.
We can talk
Hello,
about
everyone.
the Keyblade.
Our topic this week was requested by Matthew Coaster, Nathan
How do
Dotson,
I-
I'll
Douglas
skip
May,
halfway
and
through.
wait.
I'll skip halfway through.
No, I
Also
already
gained
stopped
the
watching.
power of darkness, knowingly or not.
I can.
All
I
with the
can mute
goal
your
of
video
surviving the
stream.
upcoming war, and all in competition with each other. What's more, the one with the eye
I can't see
watched it
anything
all
that's
from
happening.
afar.
I'm not watching
The
it.
conflict reached such a height that the Keyblade, the magic weapon that acted as the blueprint for
Not-
every weapon
I
used in the
seriously,
war
from
and
last
made
week,
to be the
respect
only
the
key that
series,
could open
and
the
I
lock
want
to
Oh,
untold
shut
power
up.
knowledge
And
was shattered.
with you getting a new job, maybe think about teaching this.
Shut up.
into 20 pieces.
It's
7
bad.
fragments of
It doesn't
light,
make sense. It's
13
stupid. And whatever that guy's name was, I looked up his website, couldn't understand anything. Why don't you write in English, dude? Why don't you write in real? What are these? What are these squiggles?
Yeah,
all
I
over
need
the screen?
American language. Please.
Yeah, I don't need this Toontown language.
Yeah. But thank you guys for watching. We will learn more about the Keyblade War. I love how the YouTube account is called True Masters and Morons. So, you're a moron.
Looks like I'm a master and you're more. No, I said it
it's
first.
backwards because
No, I said
Keyblade
it
War.
first. I said it first. I said it
Next
first.
week we are playing the Multiversus game. So look forward to that. I think Matt is joining us. I think he might have said something, but Devin is, and I think some other people might. But and Pierce, I think you coming to play Multiversus?
If I don't have to work.
Well, we'll see what trouble you get into by next week.
Well, we'll see if I make a new TikTok. Maybe
They might pull
I'll-
you in the office tomorrow and say, "What did you say about the Keyblade War? You don't actually know much about it."
Yeah, that's why we hired you. We actually needed a resident Keyblade scholar.
Someone's gonna ask you one day about the Keyblade War, and you're gonna feel so stupid.
You know what's gonna happen? Someday, I'll have finally made it. I'll be like a famous philosopher reading a a paper or doing like a book reading, and someone will come up to me and go, you know, your stuff really reminds me a lot of Kingdom Hearts 2. And I will pull out a gun and kill myself in front of everybody. Without hesitation. It will be one smooth motion like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where the dog bites and sets it off. It'll just be building up. Everyone will be looking. Oh, yeah. It kind of reminds me of Kingdom Hearts 2.
No, even better, you're going to have like a book signing or something, and you're so excited, and the first person that comes up, they're going to make you sign a Kingdom Hearts strategy guide for PlayStation.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Be really cool. Yeah.
But Multiversus next week. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
May the minion be with you.